race fans, we appreciate you tuning in tonight here on Dirt Track and Tuesday. Tonight's show is being brought to you by Clinton County Speedway. This weekend, they got the 305 sprints will be on tap, and then next weekend, a big 5,000 to win show for the super late models. That'll be on October the 9th. Again, we appreciate you tuning in tonight here on Dirt Track and Tuesday. A lot of activities happening here tonight. This segment is being brought to you by Creekside Auto Sales in Dover, Pennsylvania. If you're looking for a great pre-owned vehicle, give them a call in Dover, PA, 717-467-5563, 717-467-5563. Again, tonight, we'll be talking about Clinton County Speedway. Their promoter will be with us on the phone, and we are going to be talking with a guy that come off of a big win this past weekend at Bedford Speedway, none other than Kyle Strickler. I'm Danny Wilson. Shea Judy's in the house. Alan Saggy will be with us here later on. Let's get things started here on Dirt Track and Tuesday. Take the opportunity. Please share this as much as you possibly can. And if you're on Antietam Media, jump over and give us a like on our Facebook page. Thanks for joining us here on Dirt Track and Tuesday. Turn 5 Turnaround, in conjunction with Antietam Media Services, proudly presents to you Dirt Track and Tuesday. Dirt Track and Tuesday is being brought to you by Booze Brothers Performance, specializing in new and used racing parts. Booze Brothers Performance in Marion, PA. Septco Village Mart. Get your gas and goodies at Septco Village Mart in Marion, PA. RBS Auto and Trailer Sales, located in Sykesville, Maryland. RBS Auto and Trailer Sales. Roy's Body Shop. No job too big or too small for Roy's Body Shop in Sykesville, Maryland. Jim and McFarland Custom Painting and Wall Coverings, located in Winchester, Virginia. Book your dream hunt today with Big Cove Whitetail Trophy Hunts, located at Big Cove Tannery, PA. Viper Risk Management Group, specializing in your insurance needs, located in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. D&D Auto Recycling. They're also a Sunoco race fuel dealer, located in Williamsport, Maryland. Hyatt Racing Products, specializing in your safety, located in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Chaz's Used Auto Parts and Towing in Tawnytown, Maryland. We also need to thank KRS Graphics in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. Flores Tree Services, covering Virginia, West Virginia, and beyond. The guys from PA, Sprint Car Live, Beer Hill Gang TV. Linex of Sykesville, Maryland. WRT Speedworks, a leader in racing photography. Champion Auto Sales in Winchester, Virginia. Saffel Photography. Team 95, Dan's Auto Body, Michael Wattabelli Jr. Dirt on Dirt, Flow Racing. And if you're looking to represent your race team or get some Turn 5 clothing, go to mbsportscollectibles.com. Again, race fans, this coming weekend, you need to get to Clinton County Speedway. 305 sprints will be on tap, and then the following weekend, October the 9th, the super late models will be in action. 5,000 to win for those drivers. But this weekend, race Seaver sprint cars, 800 to win, 400 to start. That's a pretty good payday for those 305 guys, along with some other divisions that'll be racing. October the 9th, super late models. Again, that'll be at Clinton County Speedway. And as we had mentioned earlier, this segment is being brought to you by Creekside Auto Sales in Dover, Pennsylvania. Shay, we got a lot going on tonight here on the show, man. A lot of activities.
Yes, we do. Not bad for a beautiful Tuesday afternoon
here
in the Shenandoah Valley.
It is very nice out. Not that hot, not too cold. We did have a little bit of a rain shower that come through earlier today, and which kind of made it nice. It just made the temperature just absolutely perfect for here in the Shenandoah Valley. And I'm excited about tonight's show, man. Looking forward to talking with Jason from Clinton County Speedway, as well as Kyle Strickler and what all he's got going on, and coming off that big win at Bedford Speedway. What a payday for all of those drivers at Bedford. And hats off to the Troutman family for putting that together. Yes, it was unfortunate as to what happened, but they did a phenomenal job of recognizing DJ and anybody that was involved with that event, whether it was the Troutman family or any of those sponsors. Thank you for what you did at the Bedford Speedway to recognize a great man who ran modifieds as well as late models. And then Drake, he's kind of following the same footsteps of his dad. And
But what a great weekend up at Bedford.
Yes, it was, and I'll tell you what, it was a little bit of it was a weekend that made the eyes sweat a little bit because I did not realize until they rolled the race car out of the hauler that they actually had one of DJ's old modified paint schemes on the car, and just to top it off, Drake was actually wearing one of his dad's old fire suits. So definitely a really cool weekend. Obviously, the circumstances, we wish would have been better. I think from everybody that I talked to when I was up there, they all say, this is a great race, but we wish DJ was here.
Yeah, absolutely. What do we got there on Facebook real quick? I see a bunch of people logging in pretty quickly already.
Yep, here on the Facebook side, we've got Mr. Will Rao. Let's see. Everyone's saying hello to us.
Excellent.
And we have the one and only, probably the most famous person in all of St. Thomas, Pennsylvania, Rodney Walls, watching.
He's probably the only person in St. Thomas watching. It's a pretty small town. Hey, Rodney, I'm just kidding, man.
Easy now. Remember, St. Thomas and Walls.
That's right.
If you make one of those, somebody on that, from that family mad, the whole town of St. Thomas is coming after you.
Yeah, I might have Rodney pulled up here in the driveway, boxing my ears. That's what my friend Donald always says. I'm gonna box your ears. I don't know why he says that, but that's what he said. You had the opportunity to interview the winner from Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Nick looked really good,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of unique. Both of the winners from this past weekend also have ties to super late model racing.
Indeed.
And it's kind of interesting how that happened. But let's play that interview.
Absolutely.
I think that was a great interview that you got with Nick. So enjoy this interview with Nick Hoffman from Friday night at the Bedford Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the winner of night number 1, the DJ Troutman race here at the Bedford Speedway, Nick Hoffman. Nick, you are $12,000 richer, buddy. How's it feel?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I was able to get $11,000 2 or 3 weeks. I was able to get $11,000 2 or 3 weeks ago at Spoon River, and that was my biggest payday. So coming into tonight, this is my biggest payday. So really cool just to win this. I hate the circumstances of why we're here. DJ was a great guy, and Drake's a really good kid and a hell of a race car driver. He's got a bright future ahead of him. So to get the first one, that's pretty cool.
One of the things I thought was very, very interesting is that you had never been to the Keystone State to race before until tonight. I mean, what do you think about the Keystone State?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I've been up this way and watched some big block races. I've been to New York and watched like Oswego and a couple of those places. I tweeted about it earlier this week. It's kind of funny, like most of these places are just big and flat, and they really fit my driving style. It's kind of weird we've never came up here and raced at all. It's just these bigger momentum type of racetracks is really where I feel like I shine and our race cars shine. So run 1-2 with Elite Chassis was really cool. Was Adam Stricker running second. So just got to do it all over again tomorrow. That's all.
I got to ask you, you go to the races each and every single week, and the competition on the UMP modified side is absolutely astounding.
Yep.
It's got to feel pretty good for you to knowing that you can actually go there each week, each and every race, and be able to be a top contender. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, biggest thing is just traveling up and down the road and running as many different racetracks as we can, and got this thing really balanced where we kind of run really well on any surface or any style racetrack. So had a hell of a summer this year. Was able to win the summer national deal, and then like a win tonight, it basically caps my national championship too. So it was pretty much over coming into this weekend, but winning tonight really seals the deal.
This weekend, we were honoring a very great man, DJ Troutman. We
Yep.
lost him way too soon. You won night number 1. How cool would it be to be able to sweep the weekend in honor of him?
Yeah, just really neat. Really special event they put together here. Everybody that put lap money together. I didn't even know there was lap money until I got it after the feature there. And then the qualifying time and the dash money, any of that type of stuff really means a lot to us guys traveling up and down the road. And then, man, to be $12,000 to win 2 days in a row is kind of unheard of for modified racing. So I'm really glad they got as many cars as they did tonight, and hopefully have more tomorrow. And I just can't say enough about the Troutman family. They've done a lot for the sport, and especially a deal like tonight. And DJ was a great guy. He always came and talked to me at the racetrack. I seen him earlier this year at Fayetteville when Drake won I feel like one of his biggest races. He beat me at Fayetteville for $5,000. So kid's a hell of a race car driver, and I enjoy racing with him.
All right, Nick. Thank you very much, buddy.
Thank you.
When you have the opportunity to chat with someone like that has a lot of history in the modified division. You know, he wins on Friday. Now you're thinking, can he repeat? Can he pick it up on Saturday? But now you're going against some of the best modified drivers, not only in our area, but I mean, we had people come from Florida, out in the Midwest. I mean, they came from all over to be a part of this.
Yes, they did, and I'll tell you this much: for anyone that may have been, who was at Bedford on Friday, you guys will know what I'm talking about. For those of you guys who weren't, I'll try to explain here for you guys. When Nick Hoffman went by on the front stretch, when his car was going at full speed, it honestly, the motor was a completely different pitch compared to everybody else, the rest of the field. I mean, it almost sounded like the car was just kind of idling under, if you would, kind of how it idles under caution.
Yep.
That's what it sounded like as it went by. And so, we were actually talking to some of his crew guys afterwards, and they were saying that, he was holding back. So, he did lap up to, I think it was top 10, I think.
Wow.
So I could have only imagined if he would have been, running that car full on. Could he have lapped the field? Quite possibly. But, both him and Kyle Strickler, who won Saturday night, two great guys who've had both, like you said, modified experience and late model experience. And something that gets a little bit overlooked is that both of these men have ties to NASCAR. And they've obviously they know a lot of NASCAR drivers, NASCAR crew members, and so if you ever wanted to see what NASCAR technology would look like on a dirt car, that's pretty much it.
Wow. Let's change gears for a minute. We got some big racing going on in our immediate area, and we had mentioned this last weekend. All About Wraps brings to you the 5,000 to win, 500 to start. Larry Hills Memorial at Potomac Speedway, 35 laps. That'll be on Saturday, October the 2nd at Potomac Speedway in conjunction with Crates, Street Stocks, Hobby Stocks, Strictly Stocks, and New Cars. For more information, go to the Potomac Speedway website or Facebook page. Gates open at 3, hot laps at 6:30. All About Wraps. We appreciate you helping put this together with some other great sponsors down there. The Larry Hills Memorial, 5,000 to win. That'll be at Potomac Speedway this coming Saturday. We also have, and this is a big one, and Shay, I think you're going to this one, at Pittsburgh. Now, you'll be able to see the highlights on Dirt, but this will be the Lucas Oil Series, 20,000 to win at Pittsburgh. This is pretty much the only time they run super late models at this track now, correct?
That is correct. They used to run super late models there a lot more regularly, but they started to dial back on the super side. They have had crate late models race up there. That's kind of become a part of the main weekly division over there. But the fast track, the Rush crate late models are going to be racing up there for a big 2-day show on both Saturday night as well as Friday night. And I'll be curious to see just what all drivers from our area here in the Mid-Atlantic region will be going out west to Pittsburgh to race. So I can imagine that we'll see probably the likes of maybe Levi Crowell going out, and I'll be curious to see just how many people will do the double on both the supers and the crates. Now
there's an event coming up on October the 10th here locally, Trailways Speedway, 410s. They will be at Trailways on October the 10th. Now, we're going to have more information about that here in the very near future, but that'll be on October the 10th. So a lot of great racing still to happen. We still got some tracks that are starting to run the small car nationals at their facilities. We still have some super late model events. There's a ton of racing still here in what we consider the tri-state or the quad-state area, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia. Then you jump over into Dover. And then if you want to go out west or down south, a lot of racing still to come.
Indeed, yeah. So, this will be, if you would, like the last weekend that we won't have super late models competing in our area this weekend. But looking at, the next couple of weekends, next week, the super late models are going to be racing over at the Lincoln Speedway on Saturday night. They're also going to have the 358 sprint cars as well as the limited late models competing on October the 9th. Obviously, you guys have the Super Late Models are going to be competing next Saturday over at the Clinton County Speedway. So there's another one there. And then the week after, you got actually next 2 weekends afterwards, you got back-to-back weekends where the Supers will be at the Bedford Fairgrounds Speedway. And, then they go to out to Delaware. Then you got World Finals in Charlotte.
I am pleased to announce tonight that we gathered another sponsor, JDS Racing. Jim Stevens, if you're looking for shock therapy, spring therapy, or overall chassis setup for your super late model, this guy has over 20 years of experience in racing, probably even more than that. Jim has done a phenomenal job of helping a lot of the race teams get to where they're at. One of the folks that we sponsor that uses JDS Racing to help with chassis setup and spring and shock setup is James Licklider. James has landed in victory lane several times at various tracks in the tri-state area. So if you have some challenges with your chassis and shock setup, spring setup, give Jim Stevens a call, 540-664-9001, and tell him Turn 5 sent you. We are going to have some additional items put out on our Facebook page here in the next couple of days about JDS Racing and what all they offer. But if you're looking for chassis setup, spring, or shock therapy, give JDS Racing a call. Jim Stevens will definitely take care of you. And Jim, thank you so much for coming on board and being a part of Turn 5 and, as well as Dirt Tracking Tuesday.
I'm actually reading one of the comments here, and a gentleman from out west said that had made mention about the World of Outlaw Sprint Car is going to be racing at Devil's Bowl Speedway later in the month of October, and that is a racetrack that I do want to get to. Is Devil's Bowl out there in Texas. Actually, I've only been to one racetrack out there in the state of Texas, and that was the Texas Motor Speedway. I still want to get to a couple dirt tracks out there. So if you guys are watching us from out in Texas, I want to say thank you guys for joining us here tonight, and we hope to see you guys here sometime here soon, sometime down the road.
I want to chat a little bit about Potomac Speedway. Who is going to land in victory lane? Because you're going to have some drivers that go to this event versus Pittsburgh, but local drivers, who is your favorite to win the Larry Hills Memorial 35 laps, $5,000 to win at Potomac Speedway on Saturday? Who's your pick, Shay?
On the super side?
Yes, super late model side.
Well, that was going to be a rather tough one because the super late models did run this past weekend down there at Potomac, and Jason Miller went to victory lane. It's been his first win down there for quite a while. One guy that I think he's due for a win down there, and he's going to have the help of his father-in-law, who's a legend at the Hagerstown Speedway. That's going to be down there. I'm going to say we're going to see the return of the 24 Kenny Moore in the victory lane.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm actually going to kind of pick two in a sense.
I do have one for the crates, but
well,
I'll let you go ahead.
I'm going to pick one local driver and then one that's kind of not necessarily considered local for that area. My driver to pick is going to be Dale Hollage. He's the local driver that can take that money and land in victory lane. But an outsider, if you will, if you want to call him an outsider, he's landed in the victory lane there before. That's Kyle Hardy. He's going to be tough to beat down there. Mm-hmm. But then you got to also start thinking about some other drivers that be competing down there, probably Andy Anderson and a handful of others. So it's going to be interesting to see who lands in victory lane there. Now, let's jump over to the Pittsburgher. $20,000 to win. Again, this is on Saturday, October the 2nd at Pittsburgh. You cannot count out any of the Lucas Oil drivers. Mm-hmm. But there's one driver that he used to have some really good runs there. He's been kind of quiet, sneaking in the top 5 every once in a while, and that's Josh Richards. He would love to come back home, if you will, because that is close to where he grew up. He would love to come back home and put the 14 iRacing back in victory lane. Can he do it? I don't know. He's my pick, but honestly, you cannot count out Tim McCready, Jonathan Davenport, any of those top guys, but I really hope Josh Richards can land back in victory lane in front of some home crowd people.
Mm-hmm. My turn?
Fire away.
All right, so I'm going to pick your strategy here on this one. So I'm going to go with one that's a regional/touring driver, and then also a local guy. My touring guy, as you guys are looking at him there on the screen, I think it's going to be Turbo. He did really well out there in Knoxville a couple weekends ago. So he's my pick as for the touring guys. Now, when it comes to local racers, He has won a couple preliminary races up for the Firecracker weekend in the past couple of years. He has been a very strong force out there at PPMS, and it is his home racetrack, one of his home racetracks. I think the Crusher, Mike Norris, is going to keep the $20,000 in Pennsylvania, and the hometown crowd is going to go absolutely nuts on Saturday night.
Shay, while we got a minute, what do we got there on Facebook? Any comments there on Facebook?
Just some people telling us that we should make the trip out to Texas for a couple of races out there, and one of the legendary drivers from Southern Maryland is watching this, Mr. Matthew Tarbox.
Matthew Tarbox. Race fans, this segment has been brought to you by Creekside Auto Sales. If you're looking for a great pre-owned vehicle, give Creekside a call in Dover, Pennsylvania, 717-467-5563. And we also want to thank our sponsor for tonight, Clinton County Speedway. Again, October the 2nd, they're going to have 305s there as their headliner. And then on October the 9th, Super Late Models, 5,000 to win at County Line Speedway. Excuse me, Clinton County Speedway.
What in the world?
I got County Line on my mind because they had some really good racing down there this year, and that was one of the tracks that I did want to talk about here in the next couple of weeks. But Clinton County Speedway, let me get it right. Clinton County Speedway this weekend and next weekend. That's where you need to be.
Mm-hmm. And the home of Uniter Nation too.
And again, Creekside Auto Sales, our sponsor for this segment. What do you got for me, Shay?
I also have some people talking about Lone Star Speedway, which is also out there in Texas, saying that the late model shows out there are pretty awesome. And so almost forgot to mention my crate picks from for this weekend for both Potomac and also for Pittsburgh.
Yep.
My pick for the crates down at Potomac is going to go to Miss Megan Mann, which is Pete Cameron's granddaughter. Pete Cameron is the car owner for Jason Covert in the 72. And my pick for Pittsburgh, and I'm not picking him because I'm going to be hanging out with him this weekend, I promise.
Oh,
but I've been wanting to see him win in person for a while, and I think it's going to be the case. So Mike Crowell, get ready. It's going to be Levi Crowell going to Victory Lane Saturday night up at Pittsburgh on the crate side.
Excellent. Race fans, we got a great show lined up for you. We're just getting started. Jason, the promoter from Clinton County Speedway, will be with us at 8:15. And then at 8:40, we're going to have Kyle Strickler on the phone. We're going to have Alan Saggy on the backside of this commercial. So stick with us. Share this as much as you possibly can. We appreciate you tuning in here on Dirt Track and Tuesday. We'll be right back, race fans.
At RBS Auto and Trailer Sales, your buying experience will be second to none. Our friendly staff will walk you through every mechanical part of your trailer before leaving the lot. Regardless of whether it's an enclosed trailer, a flatbed trailer, a gooseneck, or a dump trailer, we want to make sure that you leave with a smile on your face. RBS Auto and Trailer Sales.
Sept Village Mart, open 24/7, located in Marion, PA on Route 11. Get your gas, cold and warm food, drinks, and goodies at Sept Village Mart.
DirtStation.com is a dirt track racing website containing full coverage races, highlight reels, and original short stories featuring drivers, tracks, and events going back nearly 80 years.
It is showtime at Williams Grove Speedway.
When folks in the community need to have their vehicle repaired, they think of Roy's Body Shop in Sykesville, Maryland. Since 1962, Roy's Body Shop has been providing a service that will meet or exceed your expectations. So the next time you need your vehicle repaired, think of Roy's Body Shop in Sykesville, Maryland.
No worries, fans. We appreciate you sticking with us here on Dirt Tracking Tuesday. I want to give a shout out to my good friend, and he's from Dirt on Dirt, and that is Derek Kessinger. He is watching tonight, and that guy is off the chart. He does a phenomenal job with his podcast, Suave, as they call him. And I say you really need to take the opportunity to search him out on Facebook. Follow him on Dirt with his podcast as well. And we appreciate Dirt on Dirt being an affiliate of this show, if you want to call it that, with all the activities that I do with Dirt on Dirt and Flow Racing. Just appreciate everything that they do for racing. And Derek, thank you for watching tonight. We appreciate you being a part of Dirt Tracking Tuesday.
I actually had the chance to meet Derek and all the other fine gentlemen from Dirt on Dirt when I was down in Florida back earlier this year. Not under the circumstances that that a lot of people would like, but they actually were having car trouble after Monday night of the the Monday night portion of Volusia, and I went over just to see what all I can do to try to help them out, and I myself, along with Mr. Steve Gigas from DirtStation.com, we all went over there to give this guys a hand, and we got them up and rolling again. But got the chance to meet Derek, Ben, Kevin, all the guys, and I echo everything that you say.
This segment's being brought to you by Loco Joe's Hobbies. This coming weekend is the Bunker Hill RC Dirt Oval Nationals. And then next weekend on the 9th is the driver and fundraiser race. For more information, go to facebook.com/Loco Joe's Speedway or give them a call, 304-229-8220, and tell them Turn 5 sent you. 2 big weekends with the RC dirt cars, if you will, October the 2nd and October the 9th. Loco Joe's is where it's at. Just up the road here in Bunker Hill, West by Golly, Virginia. Oh, Shay, we got some good stuff still to come. You had mentioned Williams Grove Speedway. They still got some sprint car racing going on up there at Williams Grove, and you had some predictions.
Yes, so their last sprint car race of the season is going to be this weekend, and it's a big one, guys. It is the 59th annual running of the Williams Grove National Open this weekend, so obviously, you're going to have the Award of Outlaws are going to be there in town. So, kind of going off the same theme from our, the picks we did for our last segment. I want to give you race fans one touring guy that I think is going to win, and also one local guy. I'm going to start with the local guy first, and I know I might be picking your pick, so we can't pick the same guy.
All right.
I'm going to say that a guy who is going to go to victory lane on the local guy side is going to be Brent Marks in the 19. He's going to keep it for the posse. And as for the outlaw side, he has a couple wins this season. He's been off a little bit, but usually when we get to October and the season starts to wind down, that's usually when he starts picking up. I'm going to say the posse's favorite outlaw driver, Donnie Schatz, picking up the victory.
Everybody else is going to be running for second, and here's why. Lance DeWeese is going to go in and dominate the race. That's all I got to say about that. Lance DeWeese going to win it. Everybody else running for second.
Okay, that's your local guy, but who's your touring guy?
I'm not picking anybody other than Lance DeWeese. He's going to come in and spank them all.
Okay, now watch this. We gave our picks. How funny would it be if a guy that's and really it depends if you call him. Some people will say that he's outlaw. Some people say no, he's posse, even though he's on the outlaw tour. But how cool would it be if, say, like Jacob Bowen or Logan Schuchart went on to win it?
It could happen.
Think about it.
It could happen. It could happen.
They might get us both wrong right there.
But I just think that Lance Deweese, when it comes to events like this, him and his team, they know how to rise to the occasion. I just think that this guy's got one in his back pocket, and it's going to be a big one. He's going to come out on top. Everybody else running for second. Maybe I'm talking too much smack, but I think Lance Deweese is the man to beat this weekend, hands down. Nobody else is going to come close. I'm probably going to have some people throwing rocks at me, but that's okay. I just think Lance Deweese is the man.
One of his biggest fans, Larry Dunkelberger, will say, "Thank you, I agree with you." If he's watching, he'd say, "Thank you, I agree with you."
Oh, hey, one more time. Clinton County Speedway this weekend, 305 sprints will be in action. And then on October the 9th, super late models will be in action, 5,000 to win. Clinton County Speedway, I want to make sure we take care of them tonight as they are our business partner or sponsor of tonight's event. And as we had mentioned earlier, JDS Racing has come on board with Turn 5. If you're looking for chassis setup, springs, or shock setup, give JDS a call, 540-664 9001. Give Jim Stevens a call. JDS Racing, not that far, from the Winchester area. He'll go wherever is needed. So, we're going to be talking with Kyle Strickler here in a few minutes. Well, I say more than a few minutes at 8:40, and coming off of the win at Bedford. But one of the questions that I'm going to have for him is he had the opportunity to work with Scott Bloomquist, and we interviewed him and put it on our page a while back. Actually interviewed both of them. And Kyle said, how cool is this to be able to work with my hero, in a sense, someone that I admire. And the knowledge that he was able to gather from him is going to be second to none. And I'm really looking forward to hearing his comments about his relationship with Scott, what he learned and how he's able to carry that over, not only in the late model world, but just racing in general. Because, Scott's raced a little bit of everything. And to be able to pick his brain and ride down the road with him, how cool is that?
Yes. That's really all I got to say. When it comes to, to a legend like Scott Bloomquist, or, whether it be Billy Moyer, Senior, or, just put any racer that you want to in that category and, just to kind of pick their brain. I mean, I've always said that I would always carry around like a little camcorder with me, put it over on the side, press play, because I'll just be asking all the questions and I would just be taking everything in. But then after I was done talking to that person, I could then go back and listen to it over again, because there's stuff, that I may have missed when he originally said it, but I'll pick it up the second time. So
I do want to give a shout out to Ben Shelton. He did he knocked it out of the park when it comes to interviews with Scott a while back. Kind of, the road to Eldora is what it was. If you get an opportunity, go listen to that interview with Scott and Ben. It just really kind of puts things in perspective with Scott and what all he's went through and the challenges that he faced when he was a young man, trying to make a name for himself. And here he is, the GOAT, for Scott. And appreciate, Flow Racing, Dirt on Dirt, for putting that together, the road to Eldora, Ben Shelton.
And he had some really sweet-looking pants, too.
Yeah, those pants.
Just saying.
Those pants would, whew, man, those pants were something. Yeah, all right, let's see if we can get Alan Saggy on the phone. Get an opportunity to chat with him. Dr. Alan Saggy. Somebody actually yelled that out at Bedford, I believe. He yelled out, Dr. Saggy.
Was it you?
Wasn't me.
Okay.
Wasn't me.
It's your time to start talking.
Hey, Saggy, I understand that you missed your doctor's appointment this past weekend.
I sure did. You can always get another one now.
That's right. How you doing, my friend?
I am doing well. How you guys doing this evening?
We're doing great, man. It's beautiful down here in the Shenandoah Valley. Obviously, it's getting dark now, a little earlier than what we're accustomed to, but hey, we'll take it. But that typically leads to some good racing, and we've seen that at Bedford Speedway this past Friday and Saturday night. What a way to recognize DJ Troutman and honor him, and what a car count and fan attendance both nights.
Yeah, no doubt, Danny. Rick Bittinger, I know, sort of headed that up for the Troutman family on organizing that event. Rick did a great job, as did the whole Troutman family. They sort of like to give the credit to Rick, but they did a lot themselves also. Kind of neat that Drake was running around in DJ's old driving suit. He did that without his mother even knowing that he was going to do it. he kind of did it to surprise everybody. And just a lot of neat touches. Like Shay had said earlier, they had the retro wrap on Drake's car. The modified was wrapped like DJ's rookie car in 1999. And then they took the late model and they put a wrap on it from 2015 from DJ's championship season at Bedford. And DJ's father, Dave, drove the car and used it as a pace car for the racing both nights. So a lot of neat touches, and what a great job they did to honor DJ Troutman.
Well, we got another big event where they're going to be honoring, Mr. Hills down in the Potomac Speedway, Larry Hills Memorial, 35 laps, 5,000 to win. We talked about this last weekend. For super late model fans, local teams will most likely be hitting this event October the 2nd, Potomac Speedway. This is going to be a really, really good event for Potomac and the fans down that way.
Yeah, they've been working really hard at this race. The track staff with Denise Hollage and her people, and her daughter-in-law Taylor has been working real hard on the website. Bruce Kane and his friends have worked super hard gathering up sponsorship. They have all the laps sponsored now. They have a lot of bonus money involved for the racers. Any guy with a late model car within 300 miles should try to go to Potomac and support that on Saturday night. It'd be worth the trip.
Absolutely.
And I hear the racetrack was in excellent condition down there last Saturday night, and they had a well of a race. So the fans can expect a good show if they go down.
Well, Potomac Speedway is putting a lot of effort into this, as well as Bruce Kane, all about wraps. Again, as Alan had mentioned, October the 2nd, Potomac Speedway, the Larry Hills Memorial, 35 laps, 5,000 win, 500 to start at Potomac Speedway. This is going to be a great event. Alan, we still have a ton of racing just in our immediate area. The season is kind of like got a little bit of a kick here towards the tail end because we got some money races on the line.
Yeah, there's a lot to choose from, Danny. I mean, you look north, south, east, west. There's plenty of racing to go to, whether you're a late model fan, a sprint car fan, or a modified fan. So, the weather's looking good. I think it's going to cool off just a tad for the weekend, but it's not going to be cold. And it's going to be really nice for this time of year, and everyone should try to get out to support the local tracks and go out with a bang for the 2021 season.
Absolutely. And then this weekend, Clinton County Speedway, they got the 305 sprints there, 800 to start, or excuse me, 800 to win, 400 to start. And then the following weekend, super late models, 5,000 to win. Clinton County Speedway is putting a lot of effort into the last couple races that they can squeeze in up that way. But the next 2 weekends for them, this is good stuff for some local teams to be able to go in and get a pretty good payout.
Clinton County is one of the raciest tracks in the area. Everybody who goes there to race on that place really comes away liking it. I know my buddy Jeremy Miller went up there. He had never seen the place, and he raved about it for weeks, how much fun he had driving on that racetrack a few years ago. So it gets a little bit slick and slippery. They run 2 and 3 wide. Doesn't matter what division. They put on a great show up there. So if you've ever been to Clinton County, look at your schedule these next couple of weeks and may want to take a ride up north.
Alan, the arch items this week, when you sent me these pictures and I was loading them up into the software, I'm like, holy smokes, another big week for these arch items. Both of these items, man, these fans are going to be fighting tooth and nail to get their hands on both of these items. And without further ado, the arch doors and more. Fire away, Alan.
Well, you're right, Danny. Archie's kind of outdoing themselves here the last couple of weeks. Some really, really neat items. And to go along with last week's Lance DeWeese race used gloves, this week the Auto Racing Club of Hagerstown is offering the oil-soaked driving shoes worn by Lance in his gutsy performance at the Tuscarora 50 3 weeks ago at the Port Royal Speedway. Lance had an oil leak early in the race. He fought it. He just made a yeoman's effort leading the race. So we got past for 2 laps to go. I looked at Wagner, and Lance still roughed it out and finished a close second. And it's just amazing that he was able to pull that off with oil, coming up into his face, onto his hands, onto his feet, all through the car, through the whole race. So these are the shoes he wore during that race. It's your chance to earn a true piece of racing history with these genuine shoes that are covered the thin coating of the racing oil out of the famous Donnie Crichton number 69K car, and they have the DNA of Hall of Fame driver Lance DeWeese. There'll probably never be another pair of driving shoes with a story behind them like this. So visit the Auto Racing Club of Hagerstown Facebook page, starting at 9 o'clock tonight. They will put these up for auction, and the auction will run through next Tuesday night at 8:30. And everyone's eligible to bid. Arch accepts PayPal pay option for any of the items that you win in their auctions, and they are also offering an option to have Lance released directly to your home for just an additional $10, or you can make arrangements to pick them up. Either way, so it's a great item. And another great item that Arch is offering this week is a Kenny Wallace autographed upper rear quarter panel. This sheet metal was raced by Kenny in 2021, and it came off of his familiar number 36J sponsored Dirt Modified. It carries the Jake's corporate logo and has been very nicely signed by Kenny Wallace, the popular and likable veteran NASCAR driving star and TV commentator who gave up his careers in NASCAR to return to the type of racing he likes best, dirt racing. As always, with the Orange Doors and More Racing Memorabilia Auction, the proceeds go to the nonprofit Auto Racing Club of Hagerstown Injured Drivers Fund. So you're getting good stuff, and the money's going to a good cause.
Alan, we also have tomorrow night, if my memory is correct, tomorrow night is the Arch meeting at the Wilson Roritan building. Is that correct?
You are correct. Tomorrow night, Arch is hosting their their regular monthly membership meeting. It's at the Wilson Roritan building in Hagerstown, Maryland, right down the road from the Hagerstown Speedway on Route 40. Former race winning and championship winning driver Eric Zembauer of Bedford, Pennsylvania, who is now the track announcer at his hometown Bedford Fairgrounds Speedway, will be this month's special guest. Eric will be accompanied by longtime racing historian Jake Hoover, and the duo will have some great racing stories that you won't want to miss. So plan to attend. The meeting starts at 7 o'clock. And Mark always tries to get everyone out of there at a good time, like no later than 9:30 to get you on your way home to get a good night's sleep for your work day on Thursday.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Arch Club, for putting all these auction items together. And if you're not doing anything tomorrow night, come on out to the Wilson Roritan building, which is just down the road from the Hagerstown Speedway, to be a part of a really kind of a unique meeting, getting some historic background of racing in the Maryland, Pennsylvania area. I think it'll be well worth it. Alan is
absolutely, and that's good free entertainment, and you do not need to be a member to attend. Everyone is welcome. So come on out, bring your friends, bring your family, bring your neighbors. Heck, you can even bring your dog if you want. It doesn't matter. Just bring everybody.
Just make sure it's not a man-eating dog.
Yeah. Only bring the friendly dog.
That's right. Alan, as always, you take the opportunity to recognize the people that help build our sport. And we lost 4 amazing people during the last week or so. And without further ado, I'm going to let you take the microphone for the tributes.
All right, Danny, we're sad to announce the passing of racing mom and wife Janet Moore of Blue Ridge Summit, Pennsylvania. Janet was the mother of former driver Kendall Moore, who emerged on the local racing scene and made quite a splash back in the 80s. Kendall only raced for a few years, but he did so very successfully in the limited late model, super late model, and 410 sprint car divisions, all with the full support of his mother, Janet, and father, Ken. The Moores raced as a family and fully enjoyed their time in the sport. If there were pictures in dictionaries, beside the words racing mom in the 1980s, there would have been a picture of a smiling Janet Moore. Janet was 75 years old. Next, we'd like to recognize a lady who was a big part of the formative years of the Path Valley Speedway, Mrs. Phyllis Sikaroa. So, let me get this right. Sikaroka of Spring Run, Pennsylvania, has passed away. Phyllis worked for the McGee family, who built and founded Path Valley Speedway. She worked in the tower from the track's opening in 1987 through the end of the 1996 racing season. And she was a very valued member of the track staff, still remembered today for her efforts. Phyllis was 89 years old. Everyone associated with racing in and around the Hagerstown, Maryland area is mourning Friday's passing of Mr. Bud Harbaugh. Bud was the father of former successful limited late model driver Buddy Harbaugh and was a big part of making his son successful on the track with his methodical mechanical ability. The Harbaughs race as a family and won as a family unit. While never having the most expensive equipment, the Harbaughs always had one of the best prepared cars on the track, and they excelled with a combination of mechanical and driving talent while racing at Williams Grove, Bedford, Jennerstown, Selinsgrove, Winchester, and their hometown, Hagerstown Speedway. After Buddy retired from driving in the mid-'80s to start a business and raise a family with his wife Beth, Bud stayed involved in the sport, helping on the pit crews of several local teams, most notably the orange number 32 cars of his good friend Richie Clip and the Bonebrake family number 5, driven by Denny and Wes Bonebrake. Bud Harbaugh was the last living person, to my knowledge, to attend the opening race at the Hagerstown Speedway in 1947. He went to the track that day with his father and became hooked on racing for the rest of his life. Although never climbing behind the wheel of a race car himself, Bud did manage to take a tractor from his family's farm and participated in a tractor pull at the Speedway. He did very well that day in 1952, coming in second place. But his father was not impressed and frowned on the idea, and Bud's tractor pulling career was one and done. You know, you can't blame a guy for trying, can you?
That's pretty interesting. That hey,
Yep.
he got on the
True
track
story.
one way or the other.
That's right. That's right. Bud lived the final 3.5 years of his life with a broken heart after the unexpected passing of his son Buddy in February of 2018. But hopefully they are together again this evening watching Dirt Tracking Tuesday. Bud Harbaugh was 95 years old, a life well lived.
Wow, 95. Wow.
Yeah, he's definitely the last person I know of who was at that first race at the Speedway when the Shekar family built the track. And Bud and his father knew the Shekrams, who were farmers in the community along with the Harbaugh family. We definitely lost a piece of history with him. He was always one of the people in attendance at Frank Saggy tribute race that we have for my father every year, and always had a good time at the race, and seeing everyone that he had raced against all those years. Great guy. And then finally, word reached us this morning about the passing of legendary driver and car owner Bob Elbin of Woodbury, Pennsylvania. Most of our viewing audience knows Bob as being the car owner of the blue and white number 92 super late model, driven successfully for the past 16 years by Jeff Ryan, racing primarily at the Bedford Fairgrounds Speedway. But before that, Bob Elbin was one of the top drivers in the Western Pennsylvania area for many years. Bob started racing in the late 50s, driving and winning in flathead-powered coupes. He then continued winning in the 60s as the race cars of the era progressed in the modifieds, and later the 30 by 90 cut-down super modifieds. He raced at and conquered such tracks as South Bend, Motordrome, Johnstown, Bedford, Evansburg, Windber, Huntington, Jennerstown, Heston, and others. But at the start of the decade of the 70s, the larger purses offered by the Central Pennsylvania tracks drew his attention, and Bob accepted a ride to come east. And their offer came from established car owner Ed Anderson of McConnellsburg, Pennsylvania, offering Bob to drive his number 007, which he did. And then Bob moved over to become the third driver of the now famous Water Dyer number 461 out of Hancock, Maryland. And that is when the sprint car era began, and Bob progressed into another era with the sprint cars. He enjoyed his time driving the number 461 and racing on unfamiliar tracks to him, like Williams Grove, Port Royal, Lincoln, Sealands Grove, Susquehanna, and Hagerstown. But after 2 seasons, he made the decision to return to racing closer to home because of work and family obligations. He then successfully raced late models to close out his driving career at tracks closer to home. After a few years away from racing, Bob's sons, Bob Jr. and Tim, wanted to get involved in sport, so he came back as a car owner. The Elvin family raced together. Team. They started in enduro racing, which was very popular at the time, and with Bob Jr. doing the driving and younger brother Tim turning the wrenches, they won their first race out in 1985. Even though Bob Jr. crashed right after the finish line, after the checkered, and he badly damaged the car, they were the winner. The Elvin started in 92nd place in that race, and they were assigned to number 92 by the track. Back then, wherever you started was the number that you ran on your car. Well, I guess they figured it was pretty lucky because they won from 92nd. So they adopted that number and they kept it on their race cars to this day. Bob Elvin Sr. fielded cars with his son driving and winning, just like his dad, for several seasons in the pure stock and semi-late divisions before moving up to the super late models and hiring drivers Kevin Smith, J.R. Kiefer, Dave Groves, and Rick Singleton, until finally teaming up with Jeff Ryan for the past 16 years. And they achieved great success with all their drivers. They always had a top running car. Although battling health problems for the past few years, Bob still found a way to make it to the track to watch his car run. Always with a friendly smile and a wave whenever we seen him, Bob Elvin will forever be remembered as a gentleman on and off the track. He was 88 years old.
Wow. Alan, as always, brother, you do a great job of recognizing the people that build our sport. We appreciate that. And what a history lesson there. Thank you, Alan.
Thank you.
Alan, we got about 2 more minutes here before we take our second commercial break. What else you got on tap tonight?
Well, we'd also like to send out a get well wish to a good friend of ours, Bob Dunn, limited late model driver, former super late model driver out of East Waterford, Pennsylvania. Bob was involved in an accident at the Port Royal Speedway back in June. He is doing better. He was out and about watching his son Kurt test his modified on Sunday afternoon at the Path Valley Speedway. Bob is scheduled to go in for surgery on Thursday to repair some of the injuries he incurred, and we wish him all the best.
Excellent.
Also got a few other people here we'd like to recognize. Wes Shiflett, crew member on the Kali number 2 T car. He's presently in the hospital, but we understand doing much better day to day and making good progress. Also, Jeff Sweeney, former driver, Rick Dayton, James Mongan, all of whom have spent time in the hospital recently, but are all home now and are continuing to recover from their illness, all doing much better, as are Lori and Pete Weaver and Tim Frager. They have also been on the sick list, but understand they are all doing better also. Shout out to Betty DeHaven, the mother of driver Jonathan DeHaven. Betty has been feeling a little under the weather lately, but we understand she's doing a little better and she's at home. And finally, driver Dickie Boswell, who was one of the terrors of the asphalt tracks of Beltsville Speedway and Old Dominion Speedway through the 60s, 70s, 80s. Dickie's been hospitalized for a month now, but we understand he is also making progress and doing better. So we send our best out to all these folks, and we hope everybody is back to 100% real soon.
Alan, as always, brother, we appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. You covered a lot of information tonight, that's for certain.
Well, we try.
That was a ton of information shoved in 20 minutes, man. We appreciate you, brother. We'll be talking to you soon, and might see you down at Potomac Speedway this weekend.
Yeah, never know where we might turn up. There's a lot of good races, a lot of good choices. So everybody get out to the races, and we hope to see your faces.
Excellent. Alan, as always, thank you, brother. We appreciate you.
All right, take care.
Alan Saggy, ladies and gentlemen, always willing to chat with us and give us some good information. Hey, don't forget Clinton County Speedway this Saturday, October the 2nd, 305 Receiver Sprint cars will be in action, 800 to win, 400 to start. And then the following weekend, super late models will be on the track there at Clinton County Speedway, 5,000 to win. 2 big weekends for Clinton County Speedway. And this segment has been brought to you by Loco Joe's. October the 2nd, Bunker Hill RC Dirt Oval Nationals. And then on October the 9th, driver and fundraiser race. For more information, go to facebook.com/Loco Joe's Speedway in Bunker Hill, West Virginia. Shay, time for our second commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to have Jason from Clinton County Speedway on the phone. I'm struggling tonight. We'll be right back, race fans, here on Dirt Track and Tuesday.
Booze Brothers Performance, your one-stop shop for all your racing needs, regardless of whether it's on the oval track or the drag strip or even your hot rod. Booze Brothers Performance, they have you covered. Located just south of Chambersburg, Pennsylvania in Marion, PA. Booze Brothers Performance. Before you get behind the wheel of your race car, think about your safety. It should be number one. Hyatt Racing Products, specializing in your safety, with a full line of helmets, head and neck restraint systems, fire suits, gloves, and so much more. Located in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Give them a call today at 301-992-8367. Hyatt Racing Products. At Roy's Body Shop, no job is too big or too small. Our friendly staff will provide you with a free estimate, and our quality of service will meet or exceed your expectations. We also work with several insurance companies to ensure that you will be back on the road. Roy's Body Shop in Sykesville, Maryland. Give us a call today, 410-795-0912. RBS Auto and Trailer Sales, with locations in Sykesville, Maryland and McHenry, Maryland, carrying a full line of flatbed trailers, enclosed trailers, small utility trailers, and dump beds. And if you have something heavy, we got you covered there as well. RBS Auto and Trailer Sales, with locations in McHenry, Maryland and Sykesville, Maryland. Give us a call today. RBS Auto and Trailer Sales. Does the thought of painting your home or business stress you out to the point that you want to pull your hair out? Give Jimmy McFarland Custom Painting and Wall Coverings a call today. Put your mind at ease, as they will enhance the beauty of your home and business. Located in Winchester, Virginia, Jimmy McFarland Custom Painting and Wall Coverings, 540-327-5050.
DirtStation.com is a dirt track racing website containing full coverage races, highlight reels, and original short stories featuring drivers, tracks, and events going back nearly 80 years.
It is showtime at Williams Grove Speedway.
No worries, fans. We appreciate you sticking with us here on Dirt Track and Tuesday. As we had mentioned, Clinton County Speedway is tonight's business partner. And without further ado, let's see if we can get Jason to answer the phone, the promoter up there at Clinton County Speedway.
Hello.
Hey, Jason, we're live on Dirt Track and Tuesday. How you doing, sir?
Good. How are you?
Oh, we're doing outstanding, man. We appreciate you taking time to be with us tonight and promoting two big weekends for you all there at Clinton County Speedway. The first one is this coming weekend. You got the 305 Receiver Sprint Cars, 800 to win, 400 to start, as well as some other divisions. But then the following weekend on October the 9th, you got 5,000 to win for the super late models. Man, you guys are knocking it out of the park coming towards the tail end of the season.
Yeah, we've been putting on some big shows towards the end of the year. We typically race on a Friday night, with all the other competition in the area on a Saturday. Friday is the night that we race. But towards the end of the season, when some tracks close a little bit early, it gives us the opportunity to switch to a Saturday and offer some bigger stuff and give drivers the opportunity to travel, because it's always hard to travel when you have to get off work and come on a Friday. But these Saturday shows give us the opportunity to really showcase the track to people that want to come, 2-3+ hours away.
Well, you had mentioned, racing on a Friday because of other tracks running on a Saturday. That's a good move on your all's part because there's only so many cars, so many fans to go around. And if you find that niche on Friday nights, usually you can knock it out of the park because there's not as many people running on Friday nights.
Yeah, Friday just doesn't allow you to really pull from that far away because it is hard for guys to get off work. I mean, every once in a while we do see guys that'll make the tow in, or if other tracks get rained out. But Clayton County has traditionally been a Friday night track, and we've continued with that tradition over the years. And it gives us a special little niche place. And just as in the last year, we've really made some improvements to the track, and I think people are really starting to know what Clayton County is all about.
You have the 305s coming into town this coming weekend. That division has really, really continued to expand. The folks from Receiver Sprint Cars do a phenomenal job of really taking care of the race teams and the track promoters. Again, 800 to win. So for some people, it doesn't sound like it's a lot of money, but that's good money for the 305s, and that's what it's designed to do, is to keep that division relatively economical, if you will.
Yeah, so we run on a regular basis. We run the Race Saver 305 race cars, and then we also run a limited late model. We alternate every other week between those. The interesting thing that a lot of people don't realize is that our payout for those two divisions are practically the same on a regular Friday night. The difference is the Race Saver model, they don't put all the money on the top place. Basically, whatever first place is, last place gets half. And so the guy winning the race doesn't walk home with a big paycheck at the end of the night. It really does help those guys that are running anywhere from 5th to 15th compete on a regular basis. And we've got some really stout competition. I mean, we've had nights where we've had 30-some sprint cars on a Friday night. And, we've got former national champions in the field. Last year's national champion, Garrett Barr, he won our track championship again this year. He's there. Ken Duke has won the national championship. And, sprint cars are real big in Pennsylvania, but this 305 deal, they're really racy at Clinton County. Last week, Jared Zayakowski won a phenomenal show. The track was wet and tacky. It was a little bit rough in the turns, more than what we'd want, but he earned every dollar of that paycheck. He ran in lap traffic. And, I always say to the guys in Victory Lane, Clinton County will make a racer out of anybody, because if you can handle those cars, going through that lap traffic, you're going to learn to race, and you'll do fine when you get to the big half miles.
Well, speaking of making racers out of anybody, where they can break their teeth in on is the 270 and the 600 micros. That seems to be another good division up your way, where you do have some adults that race in those divisions, but it's a great opportunity for the younger generation to step in and determine whether or not they want to be a sprint car driver.
That's for sure. We've got a number of teenage drivers. We've got a couple of them that don't even have their driver's license yet that are breaking their teeth in those 270 divisions. And, they're doing really well. They're coming up through. Next year's Race Saver rookie class is going to be pretty stout. I think we've got 4 or 5 new drivers, and probably 3 of them coming out of the micro sprint ranks. So, that's something we're really looking forward to. That's helping us build. And then we run a 4-cylinder stock division on a regular Friday night. And, that's sort of our place to cut your teeth, guys that want to try to move up to a pro stock or a late model. I look back in the years when I started that division years ago. when I previously ran the Speedway. And a lot of those guys are now in our pro stock and late model division. So, we've got enough opportunity. We've got, our top end classes, and then we've got some entry level divisions. And you need to do that in order to the fact that, you've got to give the guys the opportunity to work their way up through.
Jason, we have Shea Judy in the house, and he's kind of our sprint car guru, and I think he's got a question for you.
Hey, Jason. My question for you is, out of all the divisions that have raced up at Clinton County Speedway this year, whether it be for the micro sprints, the 305 sprint cars, and the limited late models and four-cylinder division, is there one or maybe two drivers that come to mind to you that really have impressed you in their performance in 2021?
Yeah, I mean, every week we've got drivers that continue to impress. We're fortunate that we've got Garrett Bard in the Race Saver Sprint Cars. He was the national champion last year. Garrett's a class act. I mean, it doesn't matter where he starts. The Race Saver system will penalize him from winning the week before, and they'll start him back to 13th. And somehow Garrett always seems to come to the top, not only at Clayton County, but all the tracks he's at. I've seen him do it at Selinsgrove and at Port Royal. Young guy, but a professional through and through. Jared Ziankowski, who I just mentioned, picked up 2 wins this year. He's definitely an elbows up racer, very impressive. And then, Jeffrey Weaver, local kid here in Lock Haven, he's running 3 divisions. He runs a 270, a 600 micro sprint, and a 305 race car. He just moved into 4th on the all-time win list in Clayton County. He's coming through that all-time career list at a very fast rate because he's running 3 divisions on the night. And, that's just an impressive feat. We've got a number of guys that also do double duty. Josh Beamer will run a 600 as well as a 305 Race Saver sprint car. So we got a lot of guys that do double dip and get a lot of track time there at the Speedway. And, and our limited late models this year, it's been great racing. Andrew Yoder, basically, it was his championship to lose. He did break on the final night. His uncle took the championship in a surprise win at the end of the season. We had 3 guys in the hunt for that: Jim Yoder, Andrew Yoder, and Mike Smith. And, Andrew's just one of those racers in the limited late model division. Wherever he goes, he's good. And, he definitely knows his way around Clinton County.
Mm-hmm. Next weekend, the Super Late Models are going to be coming to Clinton County Speedway on October the 9th. And back earlier over the summer, you guys had run a 410 sprint car race up there. The first one of the 410s have been up there for how many years was it exactly?
It was over a decade since the last time the 410 was there. So we did a special show with them. Basically, when everybody went to Knoxville for the Nationals, we decided to go ahead and run the sprint cars. And so we did that. We pulled in, I think, 34 sprint cars that came in for that show. The place was packed. It was really a great opportunity. It was one of those things that I really wanted to do because when I promoted the track back in the early 2000s, we used to run a big end of the year, sort of on one of these dates in October, but we always had to do it on a Sunday afternoon. And it was a daytime racing service. And it was one of those things I look back and I'm like, if I ever come back to promote here, what I want to do differently is I want to hold a major sprint car race under the lights with a wet track. And we did it. It was a phenomenal show. The fans have been demanding it. They wanted to see it. They supported it. And I think it's just a thing to show what's going to come next year. We'll definitely have the 410s back next year and working with some sponsors. It looks like we'll probably do a winless 360 show as well. Mm-hmm. And we'll see what else we can pull together.
Yeah, because I actually had a couple of race fans and also some crew members and drivers who have asked me when the 410s were going to be coming back to Clinton County because they did tell me that they really enjoyed it out there. And I know one of the 410 guys who was up there in action said that he hopes that you guys will have them on, have them back on the schedule at least 4 or 5 times next year.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll get to 5 times. We'll see how the schedule works out. So we'll spend a lot of the winter working on the schedule. But we've had requests from the Wingless 360 group. They're looking for a show with us. We'll definitely look to do something 410 and try to put a couple shows in there. We'll do some likely some bigger things with the Race Savers. We'll have the limited late models and the super late model end of the year show. So we'll look to add some special things, and a lot of that will just be working with the different sanctioning groups to see what we can work on the schedule and when they're coming through our area.
And you guys have have scheduled sprint cars, 410 sprint cars. You scheduled super late models. Have you guys thought about maybe switching over to the modifieds, whether it be the UMP modifieds or maybe even the big block or small block modifieds, to potentially be on the schedule for you guys?
So that's something we could look into. We've, so the last time that I ran the track, we dabbled and we always did a small block modified show. We caught them when they were coming through the area, and that worked well for us. I've just started having discussions with David Stremme. He would like to do like an IMCA modified show with us, so we'll see how that's going to shake out this year. So yeah, there's definitely the opportunity we can look at doing some different things. And I think this year you'll see us. We're probably going to try to work a lot closer with Port Royal Speedway. This Race Saver race that we've done in the last 2 years. We pay the same price as Port Royal for this Race Saver race. They do the Keystone. Port Royal, the hottest track in the country right now, of course, gets a large draw, but we've worked really well with them, and so our race is a guaranteed starter. Our winner is a guaranteed starter for that race. But I think talking to Steve O'Neill, there's going to be some opportunities that we can partner with them in next year, where if it's the wingless cars or something like that, maybe we can pull something together that they come to Clinton County on Friday, get to Port Royal on Saturday. There might be some opportunities we can work with them a little bit closer. We've sort of modeled our setup by the way the fairgrounds owns the speedway. We've modeled Clinton County very close to what Port Royal's doing. But of course, they are probably the best track in Pennsylvania right now. So anything we can model and learn off of them, we're willing to take notes.
October the 9th, 5,000 to win. Super late models come to town. Majority of our fans are super late model fans here on Dirt Track and Tuesday. The questions that I have for you: is this a time trial event in conjunction with heat races and then going into the feature, or is this a pill draw event where they draw for starting positions? How do you have this format set up for October the 9th?
Yeah, so we'll do time trials for that. All of our end of the year shows right now, the super late models, the sprint cars, and even our pro stocks right now that we have coming up with the C.W. Smith Memorial on Saturday, all 3 of those races will be time trial shows. So time trials plus heat qualifications, consolation events, and all that will take place for that show.
When you look at events like this towards the tail end of the year, do you try to do things a little bit differently because they are kind of like your special end of the year shows, or do you kind of consider it business as usual? How do you adjust yourself going into bigger events like this?
So the bigger events, every race is a big event for us. My daily routine and the efforts I put into it, I want to put the best show on that we can on a weekly Friday night. And so, but the bigger shows, yes, there's more excitement. There's more adrenaline for those shows. So, just like what we did with the 410 show that we did back in August, that was a time trial event. We did the 4 abreast parade lap. We put everything we can in to make that as special as we can. And we're going to do the same thing this Saturday and the following Saturday. The late models will be our premiere. The fans always look forward to this end of the year show. It's a great place to be. Clinton County is definitely a racy little joint. And, a lot of drivers like that opportunity. Points are over at their hometown track. They can come in and try some stuff new. And that's what we're looking to showcase on those 2 Saturdays.
For the race fans that are watching tonight, Clinton County Speedway, do you have the ability to have a fair amount of campers come in if somebody wants to stay overnight? Because some of our fans may be traveling, a couple hours. Do you have the ability to accommodate that?
Yeah, we've got plenty of space. The Clinton County Fair Association prides themselves on the campers they have. So they've got camping ability. You can get it with the water hookups, the full services, everything. They just put Wi-Fi in across the fairgrounds, so you get free Wi-Fi with camping. And these 2 days we'll definitely have a number of campers in, and we welcome everybody to come and camp and hang out.
Now, I want to go back in time for a minute here. You had mentioned that you used to promote this track, and then you stepped away and then come back. So, what kind of motivated you to leave, but also what motivated you to come back to Clinton County Speedway?
Well, it's funny. I grew up literally 5 minutes from this racetrack. So the racetrack opened in 1989. As a kid in high school, I got a job mowing grass there in 1990. Wasn't long. I started working there on Friday nights, and learned how to do the handicapping and the point system. I did that at both Clinton County and Selinsgrove Speedway. And then actually moved away for a couple years after working there through high school and college. And I operated the asphalt track out in Clearfield, Pennsylvania for 2 seasons. And then when I moved back home to the area, the fair was actually looking for someone to take over the speedway. There was a gentleman that we became business partners. We came in and did a 3-year lease with the fair, and we ran it. And then I took some time off to have kids, focused on my professional career, and they've kept in touch with me. They've asked me to come back from time to time, and I wasn't ready to do a lease agreement. And this past time they came back and asked me what it would take to come back, and I said, if we can model it similar to what Port Royal has, where the fair has the responsibility, I can focus on just promoting, not have to worry about the physical maintenance and all of the purchasing of the concession equipment. I'd be more interested in doing something along those lines. And so basically I became a hired manager and a promoter for the Fair Association. And it gives me a little bit of ability that I can still do my family stuff and focus on that. Then I can also dabble a little in the racing. And the track's near and dear to my heart. I grew up 5 minutes from there. I really do enjoy the racing that's there, and the ability of being able to track the history of the speedway and trying to bring that back a little bit to bringing back former drivers, talking about our all-time win list. My family's completely involved with this. My parents work for me there. My sister's there. My 2 kids are there at the speedway, and it has really been a family event in order to do this. And we continue to push forward and try to make it bigger and better every time.
With Clinton County being on the fairgrounds, my question for you is: do you guys have a fair race for the week of the fair for Clinton County? And if you do, where would you say that the fair race would rank among some of the best, or should I say, most important races on the schedule for you?
So we do run twice during Fair Week. We run a Wednesday of Fair Week, which is traditionally it's a 270, 600, a Pro Stock and 4-cylinder show. We do that. We give the sprint cars with the late models the night off on Wednesday, just trying to keep the purse structure down. And we sort of try to give back to the community. So fans get into that event for either $5 or a canned food item. So that's been the promotion we've run the last couple years. And then we come back on Friday as sort of our showcase event to sort of show the community what we can do there. And that's a great way for us even to get new people involved in racing. I think, all of us that are involved in racing know, we know people that get introduced to racing and they love it. And there's others that say, I don't understand what you get out of cars going in circles. And so I'm a big advocate that anytime you go to a racetrack, if you can bring a new fan along, we stand a 50-50 chance of making them a race fan for life. And those 2 fair events are really what I try to do and try to promote that. An opportunity to bring new people into the speedway and to get them involved with racing, because I'm a firm believer of once you come the first time, you'll definitely be hooked and want to come back again.
Absolutely. Jason, we appreciate your time. We got 1 more minute here before we take our final commercial break. Final thoughts for the race fans as you go into 2 big weekends for your facility there, Clinton County Speedway. Man, I tell you, you guys are doing a great job. But final thoughts for the race fans.
I would just say, give us the opportunity to come up and check us out. We put all new fencing along our front stretch this year. We got new bleachers out in turn 4. The fair's done a really good job of making some major capital improvements. And, come see the sprint cars. They've been our showcase piece all season. They got their big race with the Nindy 40. And then we also have our Pro Stock race in memory of C.W. Smith, former ARCA and NASCAR driver on the Xfinity Series, or the Busch Series at the time. His son races a Pro Stock, has done a great job. We've got an $8,000 purse for Pro Stocks, $1,800 to win on Friday night. They will also have time trials and everything. And then, of course, make the trip up, the 50-lapper for the super late models. That's always been a stellar show, and we're looking forward to do it again.
Excellent. Jason, thank you for taking time to be with us tonight. We appreciate you, and good luck as you round out a great year at Clinton County Speedway. Thank you again, Jason.
Hey, thanks a lot. We greatly appreciate it.
All right, take care. Oh, man, what a great gentleman there, working hard as a promoter to be able to put all that together. People, they don't realize what goes on behind the scenes at some of these racetracks, and it sounds like Jason is doing a great job of being able to put some big events together.
Yes, indeed, and guess what? on the other side of this commercial break, we're going to have the high side tickler, Kyle Strickler. So if you guys are watching us here on Facebook, be sure to share this as much as you possibly can. Grab your parents, grab your siblings, even grab your grandparents and your neighbors and tell them, say, hey, Kyle Strickler's getting ready to come on, and let's go ahead and fire away with the commercial break.
Excellent. We'll be right back, race fans, here on Dirt Track and Tuesday.
Antietam Media Services has been helping tell our county's story for over 3 decades by capturing the people and events that make us unique. The best way to enjoy our local programming is by tuning in to WCL-TV channels 806 and 6, or download the WCL-TV on the Go app for your mobile device and watch many of our archived events like the Mummers Parade, Showcase of Bands, high school sports, and much more. More than ever, Antietam Media Services and our programming is here for you on all of your devices.
If you're looking for insurance, look no further than Viper Risk Management Group. Founded in 2010 and has grown into a multi-state insurance and risk management firm centrally located in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Since the company's inception, which started with just 4 states of authority, the company has grown to where they're doing business in 19 states across the country. So whether it's a personal item that you own, health or life insurance, or even retirement, you owe it to yourself to call Sean and Lisa Martin from Viper Risk Management Group. You can also find them online, Viper Risk Management Group.
From time to time here at RBS Auto and Trailer Sales, people will stop in and ask, what type of trailers do you carry? Well, we like to think that we carry everything you need, regardless of whether it's heavy duty or light duty, cargo trailers or flatbed trailers, or whatever you may need. RBS Auto and Trailer Sales, with locations in McHenry, Maryland and Sykesville, Maryland. Give us a call today. Regardless of whether it's a small dent, a medium-sized dent, or even those large dents, Roy's Body Shop, we have you covered. From start to finish, our team is up to date on all the technology, paints, and applications to give you a finish that is second to none. Roy's Body Shop in Sykesville, Maryland.
DirtStation.com is a dirt track racing website containing full coverage races, highlight reels, and original short stories featuring drivers, tracks, and events going back nearly 80 years.
It is showtime at Williams Grove Speedway.
Sept Village Mart, open 24/7, located in Marion, PA on Route 11. Get your gas, cold and warm food, drinks, and goodies at Sept Village Mart.
Race fan, the white flag is out. We're going to get Kyle Strickler on the phone, and hopefully he answers. He is anticipating us to call. I got something here at the tail end of this segment that I want to share with you.
Hello?
Hey, Kyle. Danny Wilson here. We're live on Dirt Track and Tuesday. How you doing, my friend?
Good. How are you?
Man, we're doing outstanding, but the better question is, you're probably doing better than us coming off a big win Saturday at Bedford Speedway, and what a way to honor DJ Troutman, the family, and all those sponsors knocked it out of the park, but what a great win for you.
Yeah, for sure. Really enjoyed going up there and being a part of that deal. It was my first time going to Bedford, and um, been racing with Drake and DJ the last couple of years here, and got to know them pretty well, and definitely wanted to go up there and support their whole family, and get back into modified and go have some fun. And first night didn't go so good, but the second night we made up for it, and um, put her up front and picked up the big win.
For you drivers, when you travel around and you go to a track like that where it's kind of unique, you're going downhill on the front stretch, uphill on the back stretch, does it throw you a little bit of a curveball, or for someone like you that's traveled so much, it's business as normal?
Yeah, I mean it's at the end of the day, it's just a racetrack. You just got to figure out what your race car wants and what adjustments you need to make as a driver. And it's the odd thing about Bedford really isn't the elevation change. It's at the end of the backstretch, you're kind of got a blind entry if you're running the bottom, because you kind of come up over a little bit of a hill, and the infield is so flat that you can't really tell where the infield stops and the racetrack starts. So that was the biggest thing I had to get used to. And the straightaways are so long for how flat and tight the corners are. So we had to make some adjustments and tried some things Friday night, and then kind of went back to our standard deal and did more of what we normally do, and then tweaked on it just a little bit for the feature. And that rain definitely helped. It made the racetrack, I think, way better, way more racy. So ended up being a great show for the fans.
You're one of the few drivers that jumps back and forth between a modified and a super late model. When you get on a big track like that, obviously, air is a big deal for the late models. Do you feel that in the modified? Do you feel like you need to have clean air in a modified versus the super late models?
Yeah, I mean, clean air it's just better and better than anything. And somebody was actually asking me this weekend if what it does to your car. Does it make it tighter or looser, or what it does? And if you're tucked up right behind somebody, it makes it to where you can't steer. But if you get out front, your car is just overall better. It's just got more grip. It's like you take the race car you got and just put more traction in all four tires, and clean air. And the modifieds aren't nearly as bad as the late models, but they're definitely aero sensitive as well.
Interesting. Kyle, we got Shea Judy in the house. He was the one that actually coordinated this interview with you, but he's got a question or two for you.
Hey, Kyle. On Saturday night, we had a weather delay for roughly about an hour or so. Would you say that the hour rain shower that we had, obviously, it changed the track conditions. Would you say that that it definitely the weather definitely played in your factor for your win on Saturday?
I don't know if it necessarily played in my factor. I think it played in the race fans' factor. And I said in the winter circle that I think DJ was watching down on us and brought that rain shower in there just to make it a better race, because I feel that if it didn't rain, it would have been a race to turn one, and then everybody would have followed each other around like they did on Friday night. So the racetrack changed 3 times during that feature. I thought that the middle would be good right off the bat, and actually the bottom is where you need to be. And then on that early restart where Adam Stricker drove around the outside of all of us, the cushion was good. And then there at the end, rolling right through the middle and kind of exiting on the cushion was the fastest line. So I think that it just put on a better show, with pretty much having to start from scratch and prepping the racetrack. 40 laps around that place is a long race in a modified. Most of those guys aren't used to running that many laps. So it was, there was definitely some conservation that we needed to do, and I feel like if that wouldn't have rained, if that rain wouldn't have came, we all would have been on a 60 right rear tire and trying to just kind of make it to the end with our left rear. The right rears with the 60 are usually pretty good to make it the whole way, but instead that shaft came in, and there was the decision we had to make to run a 60 or a 30, and I think almost everybody except for Dave Hess won with a 30, and it just put on better racing, I believe, with more moisture in the racetrack.
You live down in NASCAR in North Carolina, right down in the heart of NASCAR country. I was wondering, did you ever have the chance to work for maybe some NASCAR teams by chance?
Yeah, I worked for a bunch of NASCAR teams. I moved down here in 2006 and worked for Hype Motorsports with David Gillen, Robbie Gordon, Rusty Wallace, and then a few other small teams. But yeah, I mean it was definitely what I moved down here to do. I've always wanted to race myself, but I figured if I could move down here and get a job in NASCAR world, that might lead to more things, and ended up doing that for a while, and then just going back to my dirt roots, just in a different type of dirt car.
We hear a lot of people saying that dirt racing is starting to follow a lot of what the NASCAR teams have been doing when it comes to technology wise. With you having been working for several NASCAR teams and now also being with a dirt team, can you see just kind of the stuff that you saw in NASCAR and now you're seeing it being used in dirt late model racing?
I mean, I see a lot of that stuff, obviously trickles down, but it's so different. It's pretty much just all the people you surround yourself with, and you'll see that in anything. If somebody works on airplanes, just say airplanes for a living, and then they have a race car, they're going to try to incorporate some of the aero tricks or whatever, the stuff, anything you can cross over. And it's just like that with anything. So there's so many people down here that work for the Cup teams. So there's stuff that you can apply just, in general to be better, whether it be better fasteners or components or, whatever it be, parts that they use on the Cup teams. And if we can get our hands on them and we can afford them, we try to use as much technology as we possibly can on the dirt cars. But I think that, obviously the setup wire, the cars are so different that you can't really cross over and say, well, I'm going to run this shock. We run this shock on a Cup car, so we need to run this shock on my dirt car. But I mean, I think that the NASCAR's gotten so far out there that you have a lot of the guys that are doing it as a day job that have almost lost the passion for what they do and are looking for, looking to get back to their dirt roots or their short track racing roots, because of how everything works in the short track world. It's just so much more fun and so much of a close knit community. And I think that you see, that's why I see a lot of guys that work for Cup teams, Busch teams, during the day, and then they come over and work on the dirt cars at night.
Well, race fans, if you're just joining us, Kyle Strickler is with us on the phone. If you have a question on Facebook, we will do the best we can to answer a good quality question. I do want to point out that this segment is being brought to you by Racing to Reunite, looking for missing children in the Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia area. Racing to Reunite is our segment sponsor. Kyle, you had the opportunity to work with a legend earlier this year. I had the opportunity to interview both of you at Port Royal Speedway, and what an experience that had to have been to work with Scott. And you had mentioned something about you took a picture of riding down the road with him to be able to reflect on that years down the road. A lot of that knowledge is not just taught and shown. You have to be there to see what he's doing. Kind of walk us through some of the things and how you felt about, stepping into that role and kind of walking away from it in a sense, especially dealing with someone that's quite the legend in our sport?
Yeah, I mean it's awesome to be able to spend time with him and just his knowledge on tires and in general is something that I really tried to learn and pick his brain about and pick up on. Um, he's a very interesting character to say the least, and everybody that's been around him has their own unique Bloomquist stories and. Um, he just, I guess, he's one of them guys that when you think you know what he's going to say, and then you ask him something, and he kind of goes the complete opposite direction. But the man is definitely filled, full of knowledge, um, and if I could ever tap into that, and with the time that I spent with him, and still talk to him, usually once a week, and um, just try to help me progress in my racing career because he's just been through pretty much everything there is to be through in what we do. So um, it's it's really cool. I think if somebody would have told me years ago that I would have been in that position, driving for Scott and being able to call him up and talk to him about race cars, I would have had a hard time believing that probably 10 years ago. But it's cool to see how everything played out and the relationship that him and I have.
I guess it's been close to 2 years ago. You were invited to go to Eldor for that invitational race. As the wide world of sports would say years back, the agony of defeat. You had a huge misfortune. You had a tire go down. Um, that event was heartbreaking for thousands of people, but more so for you. How do you rebound from something like that when you have a race in your back pocket and then something completely out of your control is a failure? How do you rebound from something like that?
You got to keep on digging. I feel that the racing gods give and take, and when it's your day, and when it's not, it's not. But I think that at the end of your racing career, look back on all the things that went right and all the things that went wrong. It's usually about a 50-50. It's like I mean, even this weekend, we had such terrible luck Friday night, and then we came back on Saturday and redrew the outside pole for the dash, and then that put me on the outside pole for the feature and out front. And everything went wrong the first night and put us way back in the correct position. The second night we had two things go wrong, and that's just now is just the difference between winning and losing. But back to the Eldora deal, that place means so much to me, and um, I feel like I'll have one coming there. It's just even I mean Scott Bloomquist was probably one of the first people to call me after that happened, and he just it meant a lot to me for him to say that he watched me run races there, and I got a lot of big wins ahead of me at Eldora and crown jewel victories coming. Um, this race of world is very humbling, and when you think you got one, it's definitely not over till it's over. So Eldor definitely owes me a big one after that, and it was extremely heartbreaking. And but it also the positive end of it was during COVID when it happened, everybody was watching it online. So then everybody witnessed it and everybody felt for me. So my fan support and all that went up, and a lot of people, if they didn't like me, they definitely liked me then because of the way I handled it. So there was some positives to it. It wasn't all negative, but obviously I'd take all that back to be able to leave one more lap and pick up that 50,000 win. But it is what it is. You can't dwell on it, and if I don't ever win another race at Eldora or don't ever win a crown jewel at Eldora, that one will definitely haunt me. But I hope to go there and win a World 100, win the dream, and then we'll forget all about that flat tire.
Speaking of big money races, the racetrack that you were just at this past weekend, the Bedford Speedway, coming up at the end of October, they have a big 25,000 to win super late model race. Is there any chance that we might see you come back up for that race?
We were looking at some scheduling, and I believe that we have to make a decision if we're going to go to. Um, I think there's a. I'm not sure if that's the same weekend as the dirt where the modifieds race at Charlotte, but um, if it's not, then we would definitely be open to coming up there. I do like racing up in that area just because it's where I'm originally from, and it's kind of crazy for me being from Sinking Spring, Pennsylvania originally, and then all these racetracks in Pennsylvania, and I've never got a chance to race that until now. But I mean, the only tracks we really raced at in those areas were, was Hagerstown. But so yeah, I'd love to come up there and run the modified if schedule permits. I run the late model if schedule permits, and we've won the big modified race there. Maybe we can come up and win the big late model race there as well.
Interesting. Another question I have for you is as the season starts to wind down, are you guys going to focus mostly on the late model side, or are you guys going to start focusing more on the modified side? Late models or modifieds?
Late models for sure. The modifieds are here because I love doing them, and they're sitting here. Well, they should be sitting here ready to go. They weren't. They weren't last week. We had a lot of work to do to get it to go. But now this car's ready to go, so it'll sit here. We'll probably run Charlotte, and then maybe next year we'll run Speed for the modified. But the late model is definitely the focus. But like the modifieds are so much fun. I really enjoy running them. So if they're sitting here ready to go, and then a show pops up, or we get rained out, or something happens with the late model, and we can't go to a race, and we can always jump in the modified and go have some fun. So they'll be sitting here ready to go.
Kyle, we really appreciate your time tonight. We got just a few more minutes. Where are the race fans going to see you this weekend racing for the fans that are watching the show tonight?
We're probably going to go to Cherokee Speedway on Friday night, and I think we're going to take the rest of the weekend off trying to get all the late model stuff ready to race a few more times this year. So we'll go do that. But just really want to thank all of the guys that have stuck with me through this crazy 2021 season that I had. First and foremost would be my wife and kids, and my mom and dad that's been here, been around the longest, and Donaldson Grading was actually my first honor when I moved to North Carolina, and he's now the owner of the late model team, and Esau Transport, been with me for a long time. Jervis Motorsports, they helped me out a ton. Longhorn by Lowenbro. Everybody that helps me out on both of my cars, I couldn't do it without them, and I just really appreciate that everybody that stuck with me throughout this trying season.
Well, Kyle, we appreciate you taking time to be with us tonight here on Dirt Track and Tuesday. Travel safe this weekend, and good luck with the remainder of the year. And again, thank you for being with us tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. I'll see you soon.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Strickler taking the time to be with us tonight. And Kyle, thank you for doing that. And Shay, thank you for coordinating that interview. You happened to be at the right place at the right time to be able to make that happen. And what a great guy. And it was interesting on Friday when I was at Bedford, I had mentioned to him, I'm surprised you're not at Brownstown with the Lucas Oil Series. And he said, no, he goes, this is where I needed to be. And good for him for being there. And it paid off. He picked up a win. And, so congratulations to Kyle for a big win on Saturday night at Bedford Speedway.
Yes, indeed. And I'll tell you one thing. The one thing I really noticed about him and his entire race team, but also the race car itself, as I looked at the car, I actually had to do a double take on it because I thought I'd seen that car someplace else with somebody else driving it, and I actually recognized that car because that is actually the same car that NASCAR driver Joe Logano raced with down in Volusia Speedway back in February, as well as the Bristol Dirt Nationals at the Bristol Motor Speedway back early in this year. So I'll tell you what, for Kyle, definitely jump in that race car and be able to do what he did on Saturday night. Hopefully, you guys were up there for Bedford to actually watch. I'll tell you, that was a slide job city there towards the end.
Wow.
So, pretty cool to see, Kyle pull off the victory up there, and congrats to him and his entire race team.
Again, this segment has been brought to you by Racing to Reunite. Thomas, if you're watching, we appreciate what you do. Racing to Reunite, looking for missing children, not only in Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia. And if you have seen Quentin, please call 911, get a hold of your local authorities. Some family members are definitely looking for this young man. Racing to Reunite, the segment sponsor for this particular segment. Clinton County, one more time, coming up this weekend. They got the 305 Race Saver Sprint cars will be on track, 800 to win, 400 to start, as well as some other support divisions. And then on October the 9th, the super late models will be up there at Clinton County Speedway, 5,000 to win for the super late models. A lot of great racing going on in this area. Don't forget, also this weekend, we got Pittsburgh coming up. 20,000 wins. Shay, you're planning on being there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I am. I plan on being there for both days, actually Friday and Saturday. The Rush Crate late models compete on Friday night, and then also see both the Rush Crate late models as well as the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series competing there on Saturday as well.
And then on Saturday as well, October the 2nd, just down the road here at Potomac Speedway, the Larry Hills Memorial, 5,000 to win, 500 to start for the super late models, as well as Rush Crates, Street Stocks, Hobby Stocks, Strictly Stocks, and U Cars, brought to you by All About Wraps at the Potomac Speedway. That'll be this weekend. And as earlier tonight, we had announced that JDS Racing has come on board. Jim Stevens has come on board as one of our sponsors. If you're looking for shock therapy, spring therapy, overall chassis setup, Jim Stevens is the man to call, 540-664-9001.
All right, Danny. With the Super Late Models going to be at Clinton County Speedway next Saturday night, October the 9th, 5,000 to win.
Max Blair.
You don't even know what's getting ready to say.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Look into your crystal ball.
Max Blair. Sorry. I have his name in my head. Sorry.
Did Sean Martin pay you off to say that?
No, not yet.
Okay. Just want to make sure. So your pick is Max Blair to win?
Yes.
Okay.
If he's there.
If he's there, okay. Mm-hmm. There's one guy that I know who's going to be there, and I have a feeling that he's probably going to redeem himself from having mechanical problems for the last limited late model race up there for the year. Ended up losing the championship. Andrew Yoder is going to pick up $5,000 to win, and he is going to be your winner.
Andrew Yoder. We just had him on the show not that long ago.
That was Dylan, actually.
Dylan, I thought we had Andrew on the show.
We had Andrew on back a while back.
Memory loss. It happens.
You're talking to a guy who has a memory of an elephant.
I'm glad somebody does. Race fans, we do want to thank Creekside Auto for being our first segment sponsor, Creekside Auto in Dover, Pennsylvania. And don't forget Loco Joe's Hobbies in Bunker Hill, West Virginia, October the 2nd, a big oval track RC event, the Bunker Hill RC Dirt Oval Nationals. And then on October the 9th, driver and fundraiser race on October the 9th, Loco Joe's. Give them a shout. And one more time, we want to thank the guys from Racing to Reunite, trying to find some missing children. If you've seen Quentin, please call 911. We'd greatly appreciate it.
Real quickly, Danny, if you could pull Loco Joe's back up there real quick. I know some people have asked me just where exactly Loco Joe's is located at now, because he has since moved locations. He is actually down on Route 11. If you guys were to drive past both of the middle school and high school from Musselman and keep driving down Route 11 down below the stoplight, just before you cross over the train tracks, he's over there on the left-hand side. So he's over there where the elementary school is. For those of you guys who are wondering just where Loco Joe's is located at.
Excellent. Well, race fans, we just want to give you a hint for next Tuesday night. We're going to try to have the winners of the Pittsburgh race, as well as the winner from the Larry Hill Memorial race on the show. Obviously not at the same time, but on the same night. So that'll be our goal for next Tuesday night. We'll be live once again here on Turn 5. Dirt Track and Tuesday being brought to you by Booze Brothers Performance in conjunction with Sept Village Mart and all of our great sponsors. We appreciate you all so much. We're running out of time here, Shay. Been a great night.
Yes, it has. I want to say thank you guys for tuning in and watching us here tonight. We've had 2 really great interviews here tonight, so hopefully if you guys joined in late, hopefully you guys can tune back in to watch the re-air of this, the recap. And wherever you guys may be at, wherever you may be watching us at, maybe you guys are out here in the Mid-Atlantic region, you guys are out in Western PA, you're all the way out in the Midwest, maybe you're over, maybe outside of the United States right now that are watching us. We want to say thank you very much and get out to your local racetrack.
Amen to that. Again, race fans, enjoy your time this weekend. The weather's starting to change, so dress appropriately when you get to the Speedway and get out and support your local dirt track. I'm Danny Wilson, Shay Judy, Alan Saggy, Corey Simmons. He couldn't make it tonight, but hopefully we'll get him back on the show. Thank you again for watching Dirt Track and Tuesday. Take care. God bless. We'll see you in a week from now.